is a low maintenance plant. Other than pruning and seasonal and on-time picking, you have to pick on time, otherwise your bush will become redundant. And we don't only process the purple tea, we process every type of tea. This is a tea picking basket. Most of the time you find them made out of bamboo like this one, but sometimes you can find others made out of plastic for longevity. So yeah, it is. These are simple twines, and then the siding is out of bamboo, and then the binding is plastic.
Okay.
And this strap. So when you're picking tea, you want it on your back, and depending on how comfortable you are, you could either carry it there or here. And then you would adjust the strap depending on your height. And most people, you just pick tea with both hands and throw over your shoulder. That takes time to master. So today you are welcome to carry it as comfortable as you are.
How heavy is it though? Because you're climbing all these hills and having this thing on your back.
This can carry up to 10 kgs.
Okay.
This, which is the regular size, can carry up to 22 kilograms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you need some muscles.
I see. Team Explorers, here we are beginning our rendezvous. This is just going to be yet another fun expedition here in, this is which county? Gatura Greens. Follow through because this is more of an explainer, a different kind of hotspot. But you know what? Still redefine the fun, adventure and play. Keep it KTN Home. Let's take some tea now. All right, Team Explorers, we told you we are coming to pick tea leaves, and here we are standing next to Wambui, who was just from giving us a really thorough debrief of what tea and all its components involves. But saya kwa katikati ya shamba. Wambui, first things first, how much do you know when it comes to tea picking, in terms of, can you actually pick the tea yourself?
I can, but not as fast as a seasoned picker.
Okay.
There are people who can pick up to 100 kilograms per day. And
That's
they use
a
both
lot.
hands. If you were to put me on the spotlight of using both hands, I might not do quite as well, but I do know enough to sustain myself.
I know you do know enough. You know, off camera, I asked that we're in a tea farm. Does coffee excite you as much as tea does?
Oh, does it?
Does it?
Not
Tell me,
as
because
much.
I think there's also always this rift of tea lovers and coffee lovers, and both teams really
I'm
wanna.
definitely going with the tea lovers.
Just because you're here and this is your space of working?
Not because of that. And because one, coffee has like a lot of caffeine.
Yeah.
And as you know, caffeine is a mental stimulant. I happen not to do so well with excessive mental stimulation.
Yes.
I'm already excited as I am, so.
Okay.
No.
I like that. But here we are. First things first. Am I wearing this the right way?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
What else am I doing right or wrong when it comes to tea picking, especially after that brief?
So, what are you doing wrong? One, that you have something that you have to be very keen when you're picking tea.
Yeah.
There has to be 2 leaves in a bud.
Yeah.
Always. If it's not that, then you do not pick it. If it's older than that, if it's younger than that, you just let it be.
Okay.
Yes.
I see. And I see you've actually picked quite a number
Quite
of
an
leaves.
amount.
And you want me to do that
Yes, please
throughout
do.
the challenge, guys. See this?
Yeah,
I got it.
You got it. Are you looking for a second job?
Well, now that you're asking me this now, I said hustle wouldn't matter per se. And I see today we are with a group of other tourists and other explorers coming to pick tea here.
Yes.
Perhaps you could tell us maybe your opening hours or what it takes for me to actually secure a tour here.
What does it take for you? One, you'll send us a message. You could find our contacts on our website, which is at Gatura Greens, but mainly on Instagram. You'll find my number there. You can also DM. I am always online. I will respond to you. But you have to do a booking at least 24 hours prior so that you can have enough time to prepare the meals and all of that. What do you need? A reservation fee, which is half the amount that you ought to pay. Then you give us, if you have any diet needs you'd like us to consider for lunch and all of that. So when you pay the amount, it covers the tour and lunch. So you have to give us information, and then I will send you a pin and what time time I expect you to be here and all of that. It's really not a long process.
Yeah.
You just send us a message, hi, and I will give
And then
you all the
that's
information
it.
that you
I
need.
see. Plus, I understand there's
Yeah.
an itinerary, you know, upon arriving here.
Yes.
You know, you take me through a class and I get to understand that I also do tea testing and what have you.
Yes.
Perhaps tell us what is expected, you know, whenever I come here.
What do you expect of me?
Yes.
So I would like give you a breakdown of how the day looks like. We expect you to arrive here by 9:30 or so, and then we give you 30 minutes to take your tea, familiarize with your environment as we wait for other groups, because more often than not we have multiple groups coming in a day. And then at 10, this is where we offer a little introduction. I don't want to term it as class, it's not that serious, but I'll share some information about tea before now we head out here to the farm. We pick some tea, as you can see our guests are picking some tea.
Absolutely.
And then after that we will go back to the farm house where we do the processing together. We process a type of tea known as whole leaf tea. So we're going to process that in very easy steps, a simulation of what happens at the factory, just with very simple mechanism. And then after that we have a tea tasting session. Now we can take our walk to the waterfall. The waterfall is not part of the property, but it's within the property. It's a natural resource. So we go through a tea farm, then a section is very gigantic bamboo, then a section of a planted eucalyptus forest that will take us all the way to the river. And if you wish, you can take a dip by the waterfall. Like right now the water is crystal clear. I hope you have brought your swimsuits with you.
Well, let me tell you, you will see that as we continue through the show, because even by virtue of you telling us, you know, about the waterfall and what have you, I can already see.
You're getting excited.
Yeah, and it's my first time here, you know, alongside our team explorers who are joining us on this show. And I mean, it's amazing to say that one of the things that you can actually have fun and explore is coming to a tea farm. Who would have thought?
It's a very good way to unwind if you've been in the city for long.
I think it's high time we catch up with the rest of the crew, because they see they're going further in and they might just pluck much tea than I am. See, we are running on an empty, and this is, you know, this is what we are going to fix my tea with.
Yes, we are going to process this and you take it home. So if you pick a handful, then unfortunately you'll not have any tea.
I am up for it. Plus, I mean, it's for a good cause. Yeah, all can see. So can we catch up with the rest? Now, plus, how do I get to maneuver through these twigs? Because this is something I don't think you told us.
They're
hugging my legs, man.
In as much as you cannot see them, there are paths after every bush. The thing is, you do not see the path, you have to feel it. So you have to shimmy your way sideways. And
I think that is where the adventure lies.
Yes, that is part of the process.
My producer here is saying hapati ya kuchuna. Let's see if you, when you come here, you'll be in the same category ama ripoti yako itakuwa tofauti. Please, Madam Producer, show us. That's what she has. I like that.
The bags are perforated because you do not want to trap heat. You do not want to accelerate the formation of caffeine. The leaves should arrive at the factory as fresh as possible. So that is why the truck looks like this. If we can look inside the tea collection point and see what happens in there.
All right, so Team Explorers, that's just the first half of what goes down here at Gatura Greens. From picking the tea, you come over, she said you only wash your hands with plain water, no soap, and then we are going to process the tea. So brace yourself for that next stage. This is exciting. Remember, you're watching the Hotspot Show with me, Eustace Agate. This is KTN Home, the only place where we take you to amazing places to have fun, explore, and of course, redefine adventure. Keep it locked for the next process.
So welcome to our very simple setup. simulation of a factory. It is actually a factory because at the end of the day we are going to have a full product, only that at the factory it is much sophisticated mechanism. For example, as you can see here, we have a stove that uses charcoal. We call it a jiko in Kiswahili, and a pan that we are going to use to roast the leaves. At the factory it is a commercial roaster, so no jiko and pan. Instead it is 2 barrels, one inside the other. The inside one is attached to a motor and it's spinning. The outside traps steam as high as 350 degrees Celsius. So we have picked our produce, a very good produce. But now there's something that we need to do before we start the processing, and that is quality assessment. I hope everybody has washed their hands without soap, because I want you to participate in the processing with me. And if you may, you can come closer. We are going to sort these leaves, ensure that we picked 2 leaves and a bud, and then we are going to add them to the tray there. But since we are quite a diligent team, we did pick some good harvest.
Yes, definitely this is a good team.
Very diligent one.
Yes.
Yes, it is okay.
We actually appreciate those who picked more than others. We'll have our tea courtesy of you.
You're not throwing shots at others, are you? Or is it on yourself?
Well, not really. All of us have done a good job.
What we are going to do is we pick all the leaves, add them to the pan and start the roasting.
Okay.
So what we do here, first we press the leaves down so that it's contact with the hot surface, because this does not get hot enough. So we need to press it down and then we toast. Start from here, sweep it close to you, spread your thumb here, flip on the inside. Yes, and then shake them. See?
Oh, wow.
So we do this until it is done. But remember, the factory, it is automated, so it is spinning. We are going to spread it out for it to cool down. But tea cools very fast. This is already cool enough. And we are going to move on to the next step.
I hope you're following through this process. Just a kind reminder, she says this is not what happens at the factory. Of course, they're machines. But when you visit Gatura Greens, this is the kind of expedition you get to do and to actually get to see how tea is prepared right from scratch.
Spread it out. So that's it. Now this is only going to air dry for a while, and then we're going to pop it in the oven and dry it at 120 degrees Celsius for around 20 minutes or so.
After that process, I'm just going to join the rest of the team on this other side, where we are going to do tea preparation and tea testing, because you have to see where your hard work after plucking the tea leaves gets you to. And I think you can already see there are quite a number of varieties of teas ready for us to test and ready for us to explore this place some more.
There are 2 major ways of preparing tea. You either brew your tea or steep your tea. And by the way, Brew It by Gatura Greens is our brand. In as much as we really do not advocate for brewing of tea, it's best if you steep them. What's the difference between steeping and brewing? Brewing is where you let it boil. So you let it boil, or if you have those coffee making machines that actually brew the beverage that you're about to take. And steeping is where whatever temperature of your water, even if you're bringing your kettle to a boil, and then you turn off the heat source, add your tea leaves, and then add water. In here, in each of these kettles is a strainer with 1 teaspoon, not tablespoon, 1 teaspoon of tea leaves. This is because you only need 1 teaspoon or 5 grams to make a good cup of tea. These kettles are only 1 cup. So we are going to do the processing together. I had already prepared these 3, but we are going to add more water to these ones. And by the way, one thing about whole leaf tea is that you can reuse the same leaves to make up to 4 cups of tea. You prepare your tea, store the leaves, come back later, add your water, and so forth. But that will ensure that the first cup will always have more caffeine than the subsequent ones.
How do you like your tea now that you're a tea pro?
How do I like my tea? It depends with what sort of tea. If I'm trying to wake up, I'll make very strong black tea. Often mix it with white hibiscus or lemon. If I'm trying to fall asleep or it's later in the afternoon, I would take some purple tea or green tea. Yeah, so it depends.
What mistakes do people often make when they are preparing tea, whether home or, you know, outing?
I would not say there are mistakes because there's no right or wrong way as long as you're enjoying your cup, but maybe some precautions. For example, if you do not like adding additives to your tea, then you probably should not make them too strong because the bitterness might be a little overwhelming. If you're getting yourself introduced to different teas, try to steep them a little weak, and from that it is easier to make your tea stronger than it is to dilute it and make it less weak.
For sure.
Especially if you use boiling water, you will dilute it, the flavor will get diluted but the bitterness will not. So it is best to use lower temperatures, and in that case you'll be able to dilute. And by the way, you do not need a thermometer in your kitchen to know the temperatures of the water. You can just boil your kettle and then leave it open for 5 to 10 minutes. Or you could get the advanced kettles that actually do read the temperatures of the water. Or you can cold brew your tea, leave them overnight or leave them in the sun for a couple of hours. It all depends on your preferences. It smells herbal. Okay.
Team Explorers, this was tea testing. I'm just going to take my last sip. And Wamboi, how many samples have we tried today?
So we have taken 9 different types of teas, 2 tisanes and a kombucha, which is a fermented tea. So that makes it 12.
Okay, and all these are made from your farm?
Yes, they are all from our farm and processed in our factory.
Okay.
Yes.
Perhaps what's one thing you would tell us, you know, after testing these different varieties of tea, and I consider you a tea pro, what's one thing you would tell us about, you know, about tea in its own elements?
One, that tea is a very, very rich culture.
Yeah.
And you can never get bored of taking tea because, as you can see, we already have 11 different varieties to pick from, and there are much more if you explore deeper. So you will always find something new, something interesting in taking tea. And there's a tea for every season.
Yeah.
In the morning, you have tea for that. You have tea for evenings, and yeah.
And I see with what you grow here in your farm, you actually can come out with more than 400 types of teas. Is it?
Yes. So if we go into the intricacies of how to process the different teas, yes, we can. But what we have here are the headliners or the most moving teas.
Okay.
Yes.
And of your products, should anyone want to purchase them, where do we get them from?
Should you want to purchase these teas, you can either DM us on our Instagram or use the numbers there, or our website, which is at Gatura Greens, or you can get them from Green Spoon, which is an online organic shop, or TU Shop, TU Shop, and they deliver throughout the country.
Okay. After tea, where next?
After tea, we are going to the waterfall. So a little nature walk. We are going through a tea farm, then a section with very gigantic bamboo, and a section of a planted eucalyptus forest, very tall, that leads us all the way to the waterfall. If you want to take a swim, now is the time to change.
Now, but the weather
is fine. The weather is fine. The water temperatures might not be as cold as it would if the weather was much warmer. So right now is the perfect temperatures to go take a dip.
Well, I'm kind of warming up to that kind of, you know, temperature out there. But here, after the teas, you definitely get to enjoy nature. And I think we are ready as I sip my kombucha, because if you ask me, I think I like this one the most. So Team Explorers.
The best you've had yet?
Can I withhold that? Now you know the place to go when you want to sample different teas and, of course, explore nature in its own existence. This is Gatura Greens, and we are ready for the waterfall. So twende tukaanguke nayo. Let's go. Cheers. All right, so guys, when you come to this forest, I mean, you can hear the gushing of the waters. You can interact with these nature. See how beautiful, and it feels very relaxing and therapeutic. Definitely a hot spot of choice. Remember, this is the second beach you come after tasting the tea. So I'm just gonna let you enjoy the ambience and picture to yourself upon a visit here, vile kunaenda. As guys, we are watching the waterfalls here. I'm told that you are allowed to take a dip, you know, enjoy the natural waters and actually have a swim, you know, on this waterfall. We are just about to approach. Just come in closer and see. And imagine yourself taking a dip here. It's very lovely, I would say so myself. Let's enjoy, Team Explorers. This is it. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning into the Hotspot Show. Remember, we take you to amazing place like the one we are right here. Every reason for you to tune in every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. on KTN Home, only on the Hotspot Show with me, Eustace Segete. Today is epic, and so is every Saturday.